Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay, we're ready. I don't know what we have to say
Oh,
because Mary Lou usually does it.
I can get my cat off of it.
Actually, I think Dan, you're the vice chair. I don't know. You're the one that's supposed to be.
Dan is the vice chair.
I'm the lowly clerk now.
Oh.
I think anyways.
Pursuant to Governor Baker's March, have that statement in front of at the top of the agenda.
Do you have it, Dan?
What's the date you sent that? I forget.
It should have been yesterday, the 20th.
Okay, so which one is it?
The agenda.
It's on the agenda?
Good girl.
Virtual meeting room, it says on the top of it.
Okay. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, GLC 30A 18. Is this the one I'm reading?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And the governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposed strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Southborough Board of Health will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public or parties with a right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the Town of Southborough's website. That would be southboroughtown.com. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to watch or participate in the meeting may do so in the following manner by finding the meeting at southboroughtown.com/remote meetings. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technology means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on Southborough's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting.
Okay, great.
Okay. So debriefing the public health director's overview of any issues or meetings and any emergency topics. Paul.
Yeah, no, nothing other than what's on the agenda. We got to move along as quick as we can because we've got a tight schedule. Mary Lou might enter as soon as she can. She had some conflicts that appeared this morning. We do have a few items that require a vote of the board.
Okay.
And besides the minutes, we've got a Title V code variance request for 21 Stowe Road in Vito Colonna, and Dennis Costello are present to speak to that. And we got a vote on the 2 public health nursing positions on the agenda. Emily's got several items she would like to talk about, but I'm not sure how much time she's going to have or we're going to have because she has to leave for an appointment. And then, of course, the last vote is the advisory committee that the board would like to appoint.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I went through the minutes and everything looked good from last meeting on June 25th. So I make a motion to approve those minutes.
Unfortunately, I did not get them. Something's going wrong with my email. So I guess we might have to defer those. I apologize. I just got them now though.
Okay.
We can always come back to that later too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty quick and easy to
Okay. All
go
right.
through. Nancy.
Okay.
I just want to make sure you guys can all hear me. I've been having a little trouble with my headset. Am I coming in nice and loud and clear?
Yep. I
You
hear
are.
you fine.
Yep. Fine.
So do we want to move on to the, which one do we want to move on to, Paul?
Well, let's get Stowe Road out of the way
Dennis?
Okay.
for a septic system, a failed septic system on 21 Stowe Road. And Vito and Dennis can speak to that. I'm not sure who wants to go first.
I'll just put an overview of it. 21 Stowe Road is a small apartment building, and they have a system that has failed miserably right now. We did soil testing a couple of months ago. System was breaking out on the ground. It also has some constraints by the reservoir, by the tributary, and by lot lines, which two of those variances need relief. So that's basically why they're here in front of the board today. The testing was done. Vito, do you have that in front of you?
Yeah, it was done in March.
Yep, so we done in March. We had a little difficulty in figuring out how large or small that septic system was based on plans that we had in the office versus how many bedrooms are actually in the building. That's all been straightened out and taken care of. So right now it's a 5-bedroom replacement septic system. And if you want, Vito can talk to the engineering of it. And then we'll just go over quickly the variants that are needed.
Sure. So like Dennis said, we're really constrained on this one. There's the tributary to the rear. And then there's a well offset across the street. There's and then we have ledge out towards the front of the house. So really the only spot we could put it is up in that upper right-hand corner of the lot. And we used a Cultec system to fit that in there, minimize the footprint as much as possible. So essentially what we needed though was a variance from the property line so we could shift it as far as we could from the tributary. And then also we are within the 200 foot from the tributary. So we're at right now 101 feet. So we're just outside the 100 foot, but that is basically as far away as possibly get it and still fit a system on the site. And improves on the old system, as Dan said, is breaking out on the ground. And that old system about 75, maybe a little less feet from the tributary, so get a little separation there too.
Nancy, you see the map, the site?
Yeah,
map?
I'm gonna go take a quick look at that, okay? Because,
Okay.
can you hang on?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Yep.
I have it up if you want to allow me to share my screen.
Yeah, do you mind?
No,
I'm
it's
literally on
saying
my
host is
phone,
not
which is
allowing
all I
me to
have.
share my screen. I was going to try and put it up, but who's the host? Is that
That's okay.
Town of Southborough? Tom?
You know what, I can just listen to what.
You should be able to share it now, Emily.
I can just listen to what Dennis has to say.
See the screen on my screen?
Here, I got it.
Oh, here it is.
It's there. Is it there? Can you
Oh,
see
yeah,
it?
I see it now. Okay,
Is it just that, or can you see my email too?
I can see you and just the map.
Okay, good.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah,
All right.
so bottom part of the screen, that's where the tributary is.
Okay.
So there's a dashed line that shows the 100 foot offset
Oh, right, yep.
across the screen. And then up in the upper right-hand corner, kind of the middle, kind of top is where the system is. And it's kind of squished up in that corner as far as we
Mhm.
get. That clouded area to the right of the house, that's the old system that's in failure.
Mhm.
Yep, so basically, Nancy, it's replacement, but it's a brand new system going in, new 2,000 gallon septic tank, which is replacing an old 1,500. Leach field, like I said, a little updated, smaller footprint. We allow those in town. They're approved by Title V. And basically on the variances, under local upgrade approval, we can approve a replacement system less than 200 tributary, but not less than 100.
Okay,
Because they're over the 100, 101 feet, that becomes our purview. And the line went down from 10 feet to 7 feet. That's also under our purview. Had it gone down to 5 feet, then it would have been a little bit different. But so right now, it's an approvable system. It's a vast improvement of what's there.
Yeah.
So I would recommend approval.
I make a motion to approve the variances for this septic system.
And I second.
Okay.
One other thing you board members will have to decide. Normally, we would have stamped plan for your signature.
All right.
Formality of a variance. You can do one of two things. We can stamp the plan with the blanks for you to come into the office take a vote on approving the variance with the stipulation that your signatures will be put on the plan during the next week while we have the plan in the office, or you can authorize an agent of the board to sign on your behalf. The purview is choice is up to you.
When,
I can come by on Thursday. I have to work tomorrow, but I can come Thursday or Friday.
Okay,
Or if it's easier, I can just appoint Paul to, I can ask you to do it.
or who would,
Is that what we do, Paul?
yes, you could do that. But you have to take a vote formally that you're authorizing me to sign on your behalf.
Okay, I'm making a motion to allow Paul to sign on the board members' behalf, or at least my behalf,
make it
to
the,
pass this variance.
make it the board members.
Okay,
And I second the motion.
Okay. All right. Guess it's unanimous. We can move on then.
Perfect.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Vito. So moving along, Dan, you want to take up the next two items, which is the public health nursing help for Emily? Two separate positions.
Okay, you want to talk about that?
Yeah,
Sure.
Emily, can you speak to
I can
that?
talk about it. So last meeting, we just discussed the need for some support in nursing hours. We have the opportunity to have a senior nursing student help for the next 6 weeks.
that's a
And
great idea.
yeah, so we've discussed that having not a nursing pay rate, but a lesser pay rate so she can work on projects in the next 6 weeks to help support planning for the flu clinic, as well as getting more information out and developing our social media platform to get information out about mosquito protection and tick protection. So those are the major things that I think that we could accomplish in the next 6 weeks. So that's for that position. And then the other is the per diem hours to do a posting for a nurse, per diem nurse position or positions. I don't know if we have those descriptions available.
No.
Mark, do you have those descriptions available? I think Mark was going to be on this in place of Vanessa because Vanessa's on vacation this week.
Yeah, I don't believe I have those descriptions. I can take a look for them. I don't think those were in the packet that was submitted for the meeting.
No, I only have the intern.
Okay.
Right.
I can look for that, Emily, while you're talking,
Okay.
but I make no promises.
So for the per diem nurse, I was hoping to have them trained on the Maven system so that they can do case investigation for COVID cases that come in. And that consists of a 2-hour initial training and then a one and a half hour. It's like 11 to 12:15 on Tuesdays, weekly training with Maven to do updates. So it would be like a guaranteed 2 hours every week.
And where is the money coming?
but then dependent on when cases come in.
So where are we getting the funding for this, I guess, is my question?
The CARES Act.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Well, I noticed in an email that was sent by Dawn Sibber from the Massachusetts Health Officers Association. Southborough has not, I think, formally applied for either the MEMA funds. Maybe Mark knows about this, I'm not sure. But we've gotten funds already from the state. But I understand there's sufficient funds available for this position. And it's very apropos as a item that can be funded
Okay,
with state money,
gotcha.
the CARES Act.
So you just want us to vote on you moving forward with finding, posting these job position applications, right?
I believe one has to be posted, correct?
Yes, the per diem nurse position has to be posted.
Okay.
Okay, and then I assume also that you've talked to Mary Lou about this, and she's got to be in favor of it as well.
Yes, she helped formulate the position descriptions.
Okay. So
Sounds good.
yeah, definitely. It's a motion to approve posting the position for the per diem, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I second that. Yeah.
Well, I got to make the motion first, Nancy.
Well, I thought you did.
A motion
Some things never change, Dan.
post for a position for public nursing position, a per diem public nursing position. Go ahead, Nancy.
I second that. Yep.
All right.
Second the motion.
Very good.
Do we need to vote for approval for the intern position for the 6 weeks? Okay.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the internship for the nursing student.
And then I'll second that motion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Emily, do you have her name and address as well? Could you
It's
email them to
Natalie
me?
Rogers, and she's a student at St. Anselm's, senior nursing student.
And you said it'd be basically 2 hours a week she'd be doing, you think?
Oh,
Think about it. Just
for her, I
me
think it
know.
would be more like 6 hours for the next 6 weeks or something to that,
Okay,
in that range.
all right.
Maybe 8 hours, so we can do some catch up.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So I'll put down a range then, 6 to 8 hours. How's that?
Good.
Sounds good.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Do you want me to move on
Yes.
to the next?
Yeah. Discuss the COVID testing day.
So the testing day, so I was gonna send you my information on all that, but for some reason the file's not coming up on my computer anymore. I don't know. But anyway, so the state of Massachusetts opened up the Stop the Spread. So the free testing has been going on for the PCR, and actually AFC is one of those testing sites. And then the antibody, the fire station and the fire department and the police department are very interested in doing antibody testing for their staff. And I know there are several people in town who have inquired about it. But I did send out information that they can go for that testing at the AFC facility on their own. And AFC is submitting for insurance coverage for any testing that's done, but if it's not done, then it's out of
Can I
pocket,
interrupt you?
somewhere
I
in the
don't-
range
I
of
don't know
$100
what-
to $200.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
AFC is.
Oh,
What
it's
is
urgent care.
AFC?
It's the urgent care.
Oh, okay, because I know
Company
Marlborough
that-
Hospital's doing it for free
Yep.
too, the sputum one. Yeah,
Yep, Marlborough Hospital and AFC are the two sites in Marlborough that were part of
Okay.
the Stop the Spread. So
Okay.
8 communities in the state were identified
Right.
as higher testing rates. So Marlborough being one of them. So they wanted to offer free testing in those areas, but you don't have to be a resident of those towns in order for it to be
Right.
available to you. So residents of Southborough are able to go to those sites. I've heard the waits can be long on days.
It's gotten better. There used to be traffic around the whole neighborhood, and it's not as bad lately.
Oh, that's good.
Gotten a little better. I think it's just till August 10th, right?
I
I
thought
think
the
it's
7th, but maybe it is the 10th. It's early August until early August, so another 2 weeks at least. So, and also both the private schools in Southborough, Fay and St. Mark's are going to be having testing for their students and staff. So there is quite a bit of testing availability in the area. So
Are St. Mark's and Fay, are they going to go back to having international students coming back to school?
that is still to be determined, but they are planning for it.
Okay.
There are plans in place for quarantine and things that are lining up with the CDC and the DPH guidelines and standards. So I've been in touch with them quite a few times,
Okay.
as well as the public schools. And as you've probably seen, that's been the talk the last week, is the opening of public schools and what DESE recommendations are. So just trying to sift through all that information.
Have they decided exactly what the schools are going to do? I thought it was this week we were to find out or something.
So each district had to submit plans to the state, and that deadline is July 31st.
Oh, okay. Those poor parents must be going crazy not knowing.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, Dan, sorry, I forgot you're one of them. Oh, Lord. What a nightmare.
But the nursing staff at the public schools is already like planning for return. So there's policies being updated and plans being put in place. So and I've said this many times, but the school nurses are great. Mary Ellen Duggan is great.
Great, yeah.
So,
Okay.
she's come up with a lot of things that she's allowed me to share with other schools. So
Oh, that's nice.
Very good. We're going to be interested in that for the next meeting, but I'm sure that information is going to get out really fast.
Yeah.
All right. So next we have an application grant for N95 masks. What's going on there?
Yep. So as part of the Region 4AB Public Health Emergency Preparedness Coalition, so we are part of that. So they have a community-based fund grant. And so I applied for funds. I just completed the application. It's due tomorrow. Just for an N95 fit test kit, with the hood. So any volunteers or staff for any of our shelters or flu clinics can be tested for the proper PPE of wearing the N95 mask.
Can I just interrupt for a minute? Are you doing the aerosol testing, like with the saccharin smelling stuff?
Yep, that's what the kit
we were
is.
told, because I thought because we stopped doing it at Marlborough because there was something with the aerosol and COVID, but I don't know if that's.
Well, I brought up asking for it because I wanted to, because we don't have any type of fit test for our
Right.
N95. So
I think it was that
they're
they
not
shared,
as effective if they're not fitting right. So
right, and it was a big deal because a lot of people don't feel like their PPE was fitting properly, but they said that it was, if it's are you sharing the hoods? Like we, at the hospital, you shared like this big hood and they felt like it would be too much risk of contamination. So they stopped fit testing, and it was unfortunate because some people hadn't been fit tested prior to the pandemic and don't feel like their masks are fitting properly. But so do they share a hood? Like, are you
so
reusing
it would
those
be
hoods?
a shared device, but not
Okay.
at the same time. It would
Right,
be,
yeah.
you know, whenever we
Okay.
test them, but it would have to be cleaned out and everything in between. But I don't anticipate having to test everybody all together. I don't know. But actually that wasn't brought up when I brought the suggestion of asking for that funding to the group.
Yeah.
So I can bring that up in my cover letter if they've heard any
Yeah,
information
because
about that.
I guess the people who were doing the fit testing felt like it was kind of putting them at risk because of the aerosol saccharin, but I don't even know what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about. I've been fit tested a bunch of
Yep,
times. They
yep.
squirt stuff in. So I just don't want to put you or anyone at risk if it's, but I can't imagine they'd send it out if it was a problem. So I just, something to think about, I guess.
Okay, no, that's helpful.
Okay. So you,
It's just more of an update. I just wanted you all to know that I was doing that. So.
no, that's great, thanks. And then the application you've submitted, and if it's approved, you get the
Well,
math.
I had in my email ready to go. I wanted to talk about it with you before I actually press send. So
Okay. When would you get delivery on them if?
well, the application deadline is tomorrow, so I'll find out if I get the funding. I did order the N95 masks because the fire department was saying that they're very limited in being able to purchase them, so I did order those. I think 8 boxes of the medium and 3 boxes of the small for a total of around $200.
Okay,
But I'm hoping for the funding to come back from that
right,
grant.
good, all right, nice.
And then
Great.
planning for the flu clinic, I think, was the next thing.
Yep,
So just still sort of in the early stages, each day trying to gather more information of how we want to run it. Other towns are doing setups, but after talking to the senior center group, and since predominantly we are typically serving mostly seniors in our flu clinics, or at least half of the people that we give flu shots to are seniors. We talked about possibly just doing an outdoor clinic and having people park and then come to tents outside the senior center, receive their vaccination, and then have their 15-minute wait period before being allowed to leave. Still in the process of figuring out a date. We ordered 240 doses of vaccine. Let me see.
Is that high dose?
It's 110 high dose and 130 flu zone. And then I was put on the list for 20% more. Because most people are upping their doses, but I don't have to get delivery on it until I approve, until we decide we really need it. But we also have access to Flu Block, which is now been approved for ages 50 plus. And it's a higher dose, but not the high dose. And that is, I have 40 doses on hold for that.
Oh,
So-
great.
We could potentially have 280, and then, let's see, 20% of, and then another 50 doses or so of the high dose and quadrivalent. So could
Do
be
you
up
have a
to
delivery date?
340.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Do you have like a delivery date?
So 25% will be delivered in August, another 25% by the end of September, and then 100% should be delivered by end of October or in October.
So do you think we should have more than one day of the drive-through, or were you still thinking just one day like we usually do?
I was thinking just planning one day.
Okay.
And then maybe doing by appointment type.
Okay, yeah, like Leslie did. Yep. Sounds good.
Because I think that it's feasible to have 200 people over like a 6 or 7 hour period come to the senior center.
Yeah.
If we have like four to 5 vaccinators.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm happy to help if you just let me know ahead of time the date.
So I was thinking that the week of October 12th or the week of October 19th.
Okay.
But I want to get a better
Sure. Yeah. No worries.
idea from Santa Fe when the end delivery is. Because
Okay.
I don't want to show up with just half the vaccine.
Okay.
We'll see.
Sounds good.
So it's a work in progress. And then also been working on emergency shelter plans and how that is having to be adjusted related to the pandemic, both in space, well, I guess it's mostly in spacing and location. But I also wanted to train volunteers on proper PPE wearing and just like an overview of COVID. So once our emergency preparedness group gets together and determines where our shelter will be and how it will work, then we can get that information out to volunteers and staff. So
Sounds good.
So
Okay.
lots of moving pieces, but I feel like there's progress happening.
Well, I'm glad you're going to be getting some help. You're going to need it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having the intern, and I'm hoping we can, get the flu clinic inventoried and planned out and have plans drawn out and all the paperwork ready to go before she goes back to school. So,
Yep.
all right, I think that's all I had.
Okay. Thanks, Emily. All right. So the last bullet we have here is the improving the public health in Southborough with an advisory committee. Nancy, have you gone through the
Yep.
attachment? Yeah, you have.
Yes. I looked quickly.
So what do we want to do here? We want to vote on this to what? Start looking for members, start organizing it?
I feel like could we defer this to when Mary Lou is with us? Because I feel like seems to understand this better than I do. What
Yeah.
our goal is with this. To be
Yeah,
quite frank.
I can just give you a little background in anticipation of getting Mary Lou at a meeting. She, Emily, and myself did sit down and went over some of the working details of what we would like to have the board do. Present. We're going to have the board ultimately vote to create this advisory committee for the Board of Health to help it restructure itself over the next 3 to 5 years She took information that was provided by the new state local and regional commission as a sort of an item that the committee could use as their charge, if you will, on what to do. We discussed something, we got information from Vanessa having a 5-member committee. We felt, Mary Lou felt also that it should probably be 5 members minimum, maybe 7 from Southborough residents, and then some ad hoc non-voting members. The names are not going to be mentioned. I can, just one was Dr. Lewis Faison,
Right, yeah.
as a non-voting member. But there would be similar people who would have a background and interest in public health and in health preparedness, public health preparedness. And what we would like to have the board do is pick these people. We would like to, Vanessa is not here, she's on vacation, and she made a suggestion of at least having some kind of a posting on the website, in the bulletin board, of people who might have an interest in helping the Board of Health, that they would just send their very quick, not a resume, but just a quick, their name, and where they're from, what their background is, and why they are interested in serving on the Board of Health in this advisory capacity. These would obviously be non-paid members. The charge would be to report to the board within 1 year initially, but it could be longer. It could be extended to probably 2 years. And
Well, I guess, you know, I'd feel comfortable making a motion for Vanessa to post something and at least see if we even get any interest.
okay, I have also provided Mary Lou, and I don't want to on today's Zoom meeting give the names, but I have about 6 names of people who have over the last several years, not knowing anything about this committee, just said, by the way, if the board ever needs any help, I don't want to be run for being an elected member, but if they ever need any help, I would be glad to serve in whatever capacity I could.
Okay.
And they just basically sort of thumbnailed their interest in what their background was. And so I got the names of several of those people, but I think it would be good to post it to get some more.
Yeah, because, yeah, just in case there's, you know, people, you want everybody to have an opportunity if they're interested. How many people are you looking for this?
Well, like I said, Mary Lou thought that we should probably have, Emily, correct me if I'm wrong, but about 7 members probably initially.
Yeah, I think that it was worded up to 7 voting members.
Okay.
7 voting members, and then it would probably be 3 to 5 or more other non-voting members, ad hoc members. They could come from town, they could live outside of town.
So Jan, oh, sorry.
Nancy, I was just going to say the draft was included in the packet that was sent out.
Yeah.
I know,
I have it right here. Can you
I'm
see
not
it?
receiving some of my emails, which is really bumming me out because I feel like I come unprepared.
Right, it says on the second page, there should be a Board of Health member, one is a member from the selectmen, and up to 5 Southborough residents who have expertise and a pertinent.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
registered voters.
Sounds good.
Can you see my screen?
I
tried to
can,
share.
thank you very much. I'm sorry you have to keep doing that. I don't know
No,
why
it's
I'm
okay.
not getting these links to Zoom. I gotta maybe go in and check my junk mail. I don't know why it would be going there though. Okay.
So as you can see, it was based on what the state commission had
Okay.
recommended in June of 2019. So it looks like for 3 years that this special commission got together and came up with the blueprint for public health excellence.
Okay.
And that's about a 140-page document, but it's all inclusive of the history of public health in Massachusetts and kind of set the goals and expectations for health in Massachusetts. So
And looking,
it's not all coming out of left field. It's
right,
Oh, yeah, no, I think it's a great idea.
but it's also a spotlight has been put on, you know, the weaknesses within our system because of this COVID pandemic. So
Okay.
we would have the committee also look at regionalism, one or more functions. Right now, as you know, we have regionalized our tobacco control, vaping control programs over the years. And there has been talk about some of the other lesser inspectional duties that we've had to do, Dennis has had to do, like swimming pools and summer camps and things of that kind. But there's a lot of other regional efforts that we could look to some of these functional responsibilities and duties for regionalizing and having the cost shared by a group of towns.
Okay. Yeah, I know we've been talking about this regionalizing for, I think, since I've been on board, which is a long time.
Right.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. So, all right, I think your motion wasn't a motion, but your suggestion, Nancy,
Yeah.
about getting that item posted, at least for getting an expression of interest submitted to the board, so that maybe at our next meeting, you could begin to select who you would like to be on.
Sure.
We can get that.
Sounds good.
I'm not sure when Vanessa is going to be back, but we can
So-
move that. Sure. She's available through her computer.
Yeah. All right. Nancy, go
am
ahead.
am I scrolling too quickly?
No, it's good. I'm not at all.
Okay.
Nancy,
Yeah.
go ahead and make an official motion.
So I make a motion to have Vanessa post to the public opportunities for joining our advisory committee.
And I second that motion. You got that, Barbara?
All right.
All set.
Okay.
Is there a vote being taken?
Yeah.
We just made a, yeah, we did.
Oh, you
Well-
made a motion in a second, but no one voted, so I was just.
Right. That's right. There was nobody voted. It was just a motion was made and seconded.
So how do you want me to phrase it?
No, you're ready for it. It's just-
Okay.
All those in favor?
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Oh, boy. Like, I can't wait till we can meet in public. I'm terrible at these Zoom things. I can't stand it. I'm gonna be totally honest. I don't know who's talking when I'm supposed to talk.
Well, the good news, Nancy, is the only thing left is other business.
Okay. Like, when are we gonna have our retirement party for Leslie? That's what I want to talk about.
Do that remotely.
No, we're not
No.
doing any kind of remote party. We'll wait till this godforsaken thing is over and do it right.
It's hard to imbibe when you're doing things remotely.
But not,
Oh, have you seen those masks with the little openings?
Yeah. You're gonna buy any of those, Emily? Get a couple of those with the holes in them,
Oh, my
with
God.
the tongue, the lips.
All right. I have to sign off because I'm going to my appointment. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
Good to see
All
you
right,
all.
thanks for all you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
okay, since there is nothing else, right? Paul, no other business?
No, I don't have any other business.
Is everyone going to be here in August? So we're going to have an August meeting?
I am. I go on vacation next week and then I'm back. We're still yes, we're back. There might be a couple days I have to just move my daughter into college, but other than that.
Okay.
So I'll do a doodle poll for next month.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Later in the month, I know she'll, I think she goes the 17th, so I should be okay, but
So let's do it after that. If we
yeah.
can, unless there's anything pressing.
Okay.
Okay.
Going to be out like second week of August.
Okay.
Just
So
to
look
give
at
you,
before they're supposed to go back to school.
Don't say.
Before that, I know. They might make them go back.
just to give you all a heads up, as you know, in the spring, I postponed my month-long sabbatical to Arizona.
Right.
And I'm hoping, my wife and I have a timeshare on Edgartown in the
Mhm.
fall, October. And I have an opportunity to extend that to 2 weeks. Pending
Do
any
it.
price. Yeah, so if I could, with the board's okay, and I realize that we don't know what the situation might be in the fall,
Right.
but if there's no crisis, if you will, I would like to take
Is
2 weeks off in October.
Yeah, and Edgartown's a lot closer than Arizona, so.
Right, it's just
Oh, you could go 2 months.
over the little pond, the island.
Yep. I
Right.
was in
Yeah, but-
Chappie over the week after the 4th. It was beautiful over in Chappaquiddick. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing you that time over there in Edgartown. when
Yeah.
they had the
Yeah, that's
wine
right.
But I'm always available, of course, with my iPad and iPhone. So
And I hope your son and his family in Arizona are doing okay.
yes, my son and his dog, the grand dog.
Oh,
Yeah, they're doing fine. He actually
okay, good.
he and his cohorts that he works with, about 32 people in this small little company. He's working a lot from home.
Yep.
He's the Tom LaFlame of his office. He's able to do an awful lot. He comes in once a week in his office, but all his friends, none of them know of anybody who was tested positive. Even though
Oh, that's good.
it's mostly some of the unfortunate poorer sections of Arizona that have been hit hard, and the Indian reservations.
Oh,
some-
jeez.
We should
on-
adjourn the meeting before Tom jumps in and tells us that,
So you want to save the minutes from the 25th of June till next month?
Yeah, is that all right? I'll read unless
Nope, that's fine.
oh yeah, right.
unless
'cause-
you want to give me just a minute and I'll go look at them.
Give you a minute to look at the minutes.
All right, hang on 1 second.
I was gonna say, we can do 2 months worth of minutes at the next meeting.
Oh, all right, we'll just do that.
Yep,
Okay,
okay,
sounds good.
got it.
And I gotta figure out why, I'm gonna look through my junk mail and see, because I don't think I'm getting all the emails. And it's not just the Board of Health stuff. I'm having issues with other correspondence, so.
Nancy, you're not the only one. I was telling, I didn't, I had to search. I found stuff on my desktop computer.
Yeah,
It wasn't on any of my iPad or iPhone. I kept on desperately looking, and Barbara said she sent it to me, to my Mac.
yeah.
Well, I went, just ironically, I don't use my desktop that often, but and there it was.
Yeah.
So,
And I still use Verizon.net, which got bought by AOL, which is so archaic. My husband's always like, use your Gmail. But it's just sheer laziness that, like, I don't want to have to change everything, but I think I need to. So I'll let you know when I do that.
All right, guys, I gotta go.
All right.
Okay.
Have a
So you're
great,
gonna send a doodle pool?
You got
Okay.
it.
Do that.
all right.
All right, and you keep that cat in line, Barbara.
Which one? They're both tired now, thank God.
All right, everybody stay healthy.
You too, honey.
You
All
too.
righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.